don't know why, but I just loved holding the camera and showing off the moves that my friends were doing and that I was doing. It just ticked a box for me. It was like, I guess it came alongside the whole like showcasing your new skill. It was the first skill I'd ever actually like properly put time into, and I guess documenting it was nice at the time because not many people did it, so it felt more novel and whatever. And then I met a guy called Taig from Aldershot, and he was just so ahead of his time with the parkour filmmaking. He really thought outside the box. He was like, if I'm making a video that looks anything like anyone else's parkour video, there's no point. And he just would push the boat out, do these weird little edit tricks, or like put funny titles on stuff. Like, he was one of the first people actually I saw putting titles, he'd put a title just on a lamppost or something, like, right. And that it would be like, like Guildford 2007 winter training or something like that. And it's just little things like that. And I was obsessed by Taig. Like, he did a bunch of conditioning, and I think I had my like personal best pull-up record just because of Taig. I just wanted to be like him, and he was always, doing lifting and conditioning, and not many people did that back then, like working out away from parkour to help parkour. Not many people did that. So I just copied everything he did, and he even came over to mine and would like use my parents' computer to make the videos of our training because his computer wasn't really good enough, and I'd just sit next to him and just stare and watch how he did it. And it's just a love of mine alongside the sport, I guess, was filmmaking and going back and playing with the edit. And back then, we didn't have that instant upload format anywhere. There was no Instagram, whatever. So it was always, so much time on an edit where you're gathering clips over a course of time, like same sort of skate parts, things like that. These dudes spending years getting all these clips. So the amount of hours I must have spent on Premiere just playing with different clips, mucking them about and like doing all that. I just loved it. Yeah. And then met Sacha just a year or two later at Taig's birthday jam. Actually, Taig was just the guy. He was the dude. And I met Sash, and we were the youngest at the jam. And I remember we just had this bonding moment where it's like, "Oh, how old are you?" "I'm 13." "Yeah, I'm 13 too." Like, and then we were best mates forever. And he was another guy who was just obsessed with the filmmaking. Always had a camera in his hand. So yeah, we would just like do our own summer videos. It was like, Callum's summer videos out, Sasha's summer videos out, and everyone got good at. And then me and Sash, then once we were in the team, combined our skills, and then from there it was like, now there's another level to it, and we can level up even kind of further. And then we were just making videos all the time, I guess. So it sort of came with the territory of getting better at it, because we were just always filming and editing. It was like the thing you do when you're aching and not training was edit the video you filmed when you were training, and it was kind of like that. Then over the years you just build up those skills, I guess. And like you said, with the transition, you end up really sensitive to like movement patterns and things. Like if you haven't watched a parkour roll before, like a land and a break fall, like a roll you would take to take the impact. If you haven't watched one of those before, you wouldn't know where to cut it to make it look smooth or make it look like what it really looks like. Whereas we've obviously watched other people do that movement so much that it's just inbuilt. And if some movement doesn't look quite like real life, I think we've become more sensitive to that than normal, just because we're used to seeing the real life speed on that in real life and watching it so much. So if there is a roll transition or a landing transition or something that feels a bit off, it's usually because it just doesn't look like real life. So it will be the difference between one frame a lot of the time, or two frames, where the foot kind of hits the horizon, and then the next clip it comes back from the horizon a bit, or something like that, in the POV perspective. Little things like that, and you kind of, some transitions I'm staring at for ages, like something's not right or whatever, and you realize you've just sort of picked the wrong frame or something, and you can kind of shift it around. And I guess we've just become weirdly obsessive about getting those transitions right, that slowly they've become smoother and smoother. And still to this day, we'll be rushing on a Sunday night for a Monday upload, and you get some janky ones, you'll spot some dodgy ones, but we're sort of I guess you become sensitive to it if you just do it loads, you know.